Hey, man.
Oh, hey.
What are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm just putting my opinion of Clair Obscur on the internet.
So are you saying that you're just saying what everyone else is, or that you're like a really small YouTuber, so no one will care?
I don't really know.
Okay. You kind of remind me of Drew Gooden.
The basketball player?
Hello everyone, it's me, Gaming Drew Gooden. Today I'm going to talk about Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which is the weirdest and most art history-ass title for a video game I have ever heard in my entire life.
Oh shit, it's the game. This is like fighting Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong.
I'm gonna get right to the point. I don't really like JRPGs. I never have. I want to talk about how Clair Obscur changed that for me. And before we start, if you don't think that Clair Obscur is a JRPG, please consider the following. This is a paintbrush monkey in a suit. This is the same paintbrush monkey in a Speedo. Hope that clears that up. It's not a wholly traditional JRPG. It's like what a JRPG and a Souls game would create if they had really French sex. My main issue with JRPGs has always been the combat, the core gameplay loop. I can get over the melodrama and the unnecessary overworld maps, but what I absolutely cannot abide is how fucking bored I get about 10 hours into every single one of these games. In pretty much every JRPG that I've tried, by a certain point, the combat settles into a pretty predictable routine. Your 1 to 4 guys will go up against their 1 to 4 guys and execute a series of moves that basically do not change unless the monster has some weird gimmick or resistance to the type of damage you're using. And honestly, in some games, the resistance thing really doesn't matter anyway.
A Charizard, Ash? Your Pokemon's no match for my Blastoise, because he's resistant to fire type. What? Oh, yeah, Charizard, use flamethrower. Blastoise! These guys are using Jigglypuff as a volleyball.
And just to be clear, I'm not afraid of turn-based combat. The phrase doesn't make me pee my pants. The problem is, once I've figured out a good strategy, I don't feel like I have to adapt very much. One of my favorite games of all time is Baldur's Gate 3, and that's not just because it's based on D&D. No, it's because in Baldur's Gate 3, while still being turn-based, the combat gives you so many more things to think about. Every fight happens in a different place, a different arena. There's movement, there's verticality, there are vantage points and sight lines. You have to position characters in smart ways to not get decimated by area of effect spells.
What the fuck?
You can surround enemies to block retreats or threaten ranged attackers. You can position your casters or archers on high grounds for better attacking threat and defensive cover. There are so many ways to play the fight differently beyond just what attack or spell you're selecting on your turn. It's not just 1 to 4 dudes in a line trading hits until one team falls over. And the crazy thing about Clair Obscur is that's basically all it is, and yet I fucking love it. Why? Because you can dodge or parry every single attack from every single enemy in the game. This has a fantastic effect on combat beyond the fact that it just feels really satisfying to do.
So it's because it's like Dark Souls?
Who the hell are you? Did you break into my house?
No, I've been here the whole time.
That's way more concerning.
So it is just because it's like Dark Souls.
It's not just because it's like Dark Souls.
Yeah, but you really like Dark Souls.
Yeah, I do really like Dark Souls. I mean, it has like bonfires and smithing stones, and that one boss really looks like Pontiff Sullivan.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Can you get out of my house?
Right.
Wait! Close the door!
The main thing for me is that the combat in Clair Obscur never got repetitive, because every new monster has a new set of attacks to learn and master. And you do need to learn them, because if you mess up once, some of these monsters will not hesitate to shove your entire head up your ass.
Oh, okay, I see.
that move kills you. And traditional JRPGs obviously introduce new moves as you go on, but a lot of the times they just feel like different wrapping paper over a bigger number that your party needs to absorb. It's why I think JRPGs are infamous for being grindy. If you don't have enough health and damage, you can't outskill the opponent in the same way as Dark Souls. You might just have to level up. In Clair Obscur, the only reason you can't beat a monster is because you're not good enough. Or you're employed, and you don't have the 8 months of free time it would take to beat Sprong at level 10.
Expedition 33 Turbo Blast. I don't think that worked right.
Plus 1 point for naming that guy Sprong. I did still find myself falling into that dreaded repetition of the strategy for my own character's moves, a strategy that was working very well, so I didn't feel the need to change it. But it was funny to realize that later on, I was actually more excited for the enemy's turn than my own, and because of that, I was still having a ton of fun. And I should clarify, I was playing on Expert, and I definitely felt like I needed to dodge or parry to survive fights.
Okay, so this one's different. This move kills you.
But if you're a more traditional JRPG player, and that doesn't sound fun to you, but you'd still like to play this game for its story and its characters, I'm pretty sure you could just turn the difficulty down and get through it while doing very little of that.
Yeah, if you're a little scaredy boy.
One of the other effects this system has is it opens up different ways of thinking in combat. One example is healing. In turn-based games, a lot of times healing is pretty synonymous with stalling. Unfortunately, you're never going to defeat the enemy by healing your team. You are going to defeat the enemy by beating the shit out of them. With kindness. In turn-based games, when you're healing a character, they need to recover more hit points from that heal than the amount of damage they would theoretically take in the next round for that heal to be worth it. And that's not even considering the damage you're missing out on from the person doing the healing that round. Damage that might kill an enemy, thus reducing the damage you take in subsequent rounds and reducing your need to heal at all. In Clair Obscur, you don't even need to think through any of that because theoretically, the person you're healing doesn't have to take any damage in the next round.
Why would you be healing them if they don't take any damage?
You're still here?
Yeah, I'm never gonna leave.
Okay.
Yes, it's kind of counterintuitive, but the point is, when you do feel like you need to heal, it doesn't feel as bad, at least to me, as other turn-based games. It kind of mimics the feeling of drinking an Estus flask in between attacks while fighting a boss in Dark Souls. It's not exactly stalling, you're just giving yourself a bit of a buffer so you can learn the moves, and then, once you've got them down, you won't even think about the flasks. I also just want to reiterate that one of the best parts about this system, regardless of all the other effects it has on the game, is just the fact that it feels really good.
I got this. Watch the parries. Watch the parries. Gamer. 1, 2, 3.
I rarely found myself getting frustrated while learning any of the monster's attacks, and maybe that just means the game is really fun, maybe that means it was too easy, maybe I just really fucking love Dark Souls.
Oh my god, I fucking love Dark Souls. I love parrying this dumbass. You are a fraud! Bang! 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 Whoops, I'm going supersonic omega giga hidden monkey style. You might say you didn't like Godskin Duo or Malenia or wall clanging. I say fuck you. Those bosses and that wall sucked my dick from the back. I dragged my balls through the lake of rot just to fight Malenia one last time.
So yeah, I just didn't really get frustrated when I was learning the parrying. Which I did when I was playing through Elden Ring. Shout out my man Morgott. He is still holding that cane up. The monsters in this game still are kind of pieces of shit sometimes, and they'll try to mess you up with little feints and things. Oh, that was so mean! But there's loads of clues and cool ways that they telegraph attacks to you, and it makes the whole process of learning everything feel less painful and very rewarding for people who are paying attention. It isn't always obvious the first time.
Fires its cannon.
What is this shit? No! What?
But there is usually something you can notice to help you learn the attack, whether that's visual or some of the really nice sound design for the audio cues that play just before the attack lands.
I had my big brother do this one.
Also, I've been told that this system is somewhat reminiscent of a game called Paper Mario, but I haven't played that, so it doesn't exist. And I would like to commend Sandfall for being the first people to do this ever. Beyond all that, the game has a captivating story with some really compelling characters, with great voice acting and writing. And I do want to stay focused on the positives because I think this is a really ambitious project from a new studio, and I fully believe that they should be commended for it. That said, I feel I must point out two things that do not need to exist in video games. Number one, I don't like backtracking for obvious reasons. I think it's a waste of time. This is one of those games where there's objects or areas where you can't interact with them until you get an ability later, but you might not realize that until you get the ability and you think, oh shit, I should have been writing those down. It just creates FOMO for me, and then I have to go scour the map or look it up online if I want to find those bosses or items that were hidden behind those things. It doesn't feel like rewarding exploration, it kind of just feels like a chore. Number two,
I despise damage caps.
What the hell?
Clair Obscur has a 9,999 damage cap in place for most of the game because the developers are babies. I was hitting it by level 14. By the time it got removed, I was level 50. I went from doing over 9,000 damage to over 90,000. Boom, bitch. And before you say it's there for a lore reason, I don't know how to read. I've never heard a compelling argument from someone who's still alive as to why a damage cap should exist in a single-player game. It's lazy and unfun. The opposite of me. Why are you punishing players for being good? You put all the pieces here. I just built the gun. Are you bothered by the fact that players are engaging with all the pieces of your game? Are you gonna cry because I giga-stomped the boss that you designed? Uh-oh, diaper's full. You think the game will be too easy? Skill issue. Dark Souls doesn't have damage caps. Do people think those games are too easy? And while I'm on the subject, I want to give a shout out to a game that's very close to my cold, robotic heart. Enter the Gungeon. Go fuck yourself. How much? 100%. Why do the bosses have a DPS cap? Are you scared to watch me melt the boss as fast as possible? Loser mentality. It's a single player game. Who am I hurting? The developer's feelings? Coward. One moment.
Sir.
Did you take over the video again?
Yes, I was just doing a little rant on damage caps, sir.
Oh, okay. Did you really 100% Gungeon?
Yeah, it's a great game.
Huh.
What are you doing out here?
It's classified.
Oh, okay, whatever. Just swap me back.
Right, sorry, sir.
I'm not saying the backtracking or the damage caps are reasons to not play the game. I just think maybe in some delusional way I can put that in here and somebody might keep it out of a game in the future. Oh, also, this is a game where M opens the map and, you guessed it, doesn't close it.
You make M open the map, but you don't make it to close it. Why?
As for more good things about the game beyond the relatively small stuff like, you know, the story and the gameplay, here are some other things I found that I was pleasantly surprised by. Fans of Baldur's Gate 3 might recognize some returning friends. We got Shadowheart, aka Shady, aka Jennifer English. If I had a nickel for every time Jennifer English voiced somebody in a video game who changed their hair color to white to signify a massive shift in their character's arc, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. We got Withers Regen. He doesn't have a face in this game, but he was pretty much halfway there in Baldur's Gate, so whatever. We got Lae'zel, or Bazel. I don't want to say her actual name because I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to mispronounce it because I want her to like me. We got Paintbrush Gnomes, and if you know me, you know I don't like gnomes. They have dawdled under their mushrooms in careless whimsy for too long. But these guys are pretty cool, and they get a lot bigger. They are a society of merchant paintbrushes that yearn only for bloodshed, and I think that's neat. You can even fight them when you find one of them to unlock better items to purchase. Another notable thing is the music in the game is interesting. It's pretty varied, but the world is also pretty absurd, so the eclectic mixture didn't really bother me. I think in another game I might have found it jarring, but in this one I found it pretty fun. I didn't like all of it, like this rather melodramatic piano song that loops incessantly during the intro. It's just, I feel like the tone of this, the goddamn piano needs to stop. But then you got this.
I'm crying in the club right now. What the fuck's going on?
And this.
This is a sack of potatoes hitting me with a corpse. And we're doing like cyberpunk bar fight.
And this!
Why is he so sturdy with it?
The last thing I'll mention, and this one I found really surprising, is this game is funny. And I don't mean in like a Borderlands poop stallion kind of way. I mean in a good writing and good comedic timing kind of way. I don't remember the last time that I laughed out loud at a game like this.
To what do we owe the pleasure of your company?
We're heading for Old Lumiere.
Okay, bye.
Anyway, in conclusion, if you're a person like me that often finds yourself feeling bored with JRPG combat, but greatly enjoys the process of mastering the mechanical skill of a game like Elden Ring, then I cannot recommend Clair Obscur enough. I was hopelessly addicted to this game for as long as I was playing it, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. So, great job, Sandfall, and if you can do me one favor,
Can you please turn down the volume on this attack?
Foolish move.
Oh, okay, so this time the sound kills you. Is it Devra? Devora?
It's Devra.
Man, would you wanna get some lunch?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Barra. Barra.